non-basic lands that I have. It's not too many, but Temple of the False God. Tap and add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Activate only if you control 5 or more lands. I absolutely love this card in Commander because, well, it's fucking Commander. You're gonna get that online, and not to mention this. I feel like it's the best 5th land to play. Yeah, if this happens to be your 5th land that you end up playing, which has happened to, I'm sure, a lot of you multiple times. It's happened to me multiple times. You feel relieved because you can immediately use it. No, not alive. I also run Buried Ruin. Taps for colorless, or you can pay 2, tap, sack it, and return to her artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. This has saved a couple of this has saved Cage Sun before. This has saved Thrawn Dynamo before. I like it in there for that particular reason. Like, don't get me wrong, you pop my Soul Ring or something like that, or maybe even the Warden Power Stone. I'm not really worried about getting those back. But yeah, the higher end artifacts, things of that nature, no. I'm gonna need you to leave those alone. Let's see. Atoll, yeah, there we go. Coral Atoll. When it enters the battlefield, tap. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return an untapped island you control to its owner's hand. And it taps for a colorless and a blue. Again, it's one of those cards. Late game, trash. But if you can get this out within the first, I'd say 2 or 3 turns, yeah, it'll put you up a mana, and it's a great feeling. Next, I only have 6 left. Booyah. Remote Isle. Enters the battlefield. Taps for blue. Can pay 2 to cycle it, discard it, and draw a card. I've used it for both. Early game, I've had this in my opening hand. Most first turns there's not a lot going on. Unless I have an open. If I have maybe 2, 3 lands tops, this is one of them, and a Soul Ring in my hand, I will play an island, play the Soul Ring, and then cycle this to see to cycle through the deck a little faster. But sometimes that combination not in your hand. You just have this and maybe 2 islands, and I'm just like, you know what, whatever. Remote Isle first turn. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright. Just looking outside for a second. I run Reliquary Tower. You have no maximum hand size. Task for colorless. Another card that I think needs no real introduction. It's pretty cut and dry. We are almost done. For anybody who is watching this video and has stuck it out this far, I greatly appreciate it and you. Ottawara, Soaring City, legendary land. This land is not even that old. It came out earlier this year. Taps for blue, but it also has channel. You can pay 2 in the blue and discard it. Return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. This ability costs 1 less to cast for each legendary creature you control. So, obviously, yeah, my commander's out there the majority of the time, so this will more than likely cost 3. I've used it for both, because it doesn't enter tapped, which is great. It doesn't enter tapped, so you can immediately use it if you need mana. Again, this is another card I've had in my opening hand, and I've just gone ahead and played it. I have a lot of bounce spells in here, but I've also used it for said channel ability if I get it later in the game, or if I have enough mana on the board that I don't need it, 3 left, and okay, yay, I spelled that right. Myriad Landscape. Enters the battlefield tapped, unfortunately, but taps for a colorless. You can pay 2, tap, sack it, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. Another one of those cards, early game, fucking amazing. Late game, trash. Another card that I've had in my opening hand, and if I have this in my hand and have at least 2 other lands, I'll just go ahead and play this first and get it out of the way. If I don't have anything else going on that needs immediate attention, I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way and get it onto the battlefield. That way, as soon as I'm able to or I'm in a position to, I can go get those 2 other lands. 2 lands left. Lonely Sandbar. That's not the version I have, but you know, whatever. Taps. Oh, enters the battlefield, tap. You can tap it for blue, or you can pay 1 blue and cycle it. Again, another one of those cards that I've done both with. I've early game cycled this just because I knew I had like 4 lands in my hand. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and cycle this and hopefully draw something that can go with said lands, you know? But I've also had it in my opening hand and nothing really going on, like this and maybe 2 other lands, and I'm just like, yep, just Lonely Sandbar, my turn's over. Alright, and this is the last land in the, well, this is the last, this is the last non-basic land, I should say. And it is Mystic Sanctuary. It is still considered an island, but it's still also considered a non-basic land. So, so for stuff like Scourge of Fleets, where it's counting the number of islands you control, so it counts this. Taps for blue. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more other islands. When Mystic Sanctuary enters the battlefield untapped, you may put target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library. And notice it says you may. You can bring this out untapped with the 3 other islands and not give a shit about the instants of sorceries that are in your graveyard because they may not be useful at the time. Or whatnot. Or just bring it out untapped and just like, hey, now I have 4 mana or 5 mana or whatever, and I can just use it. And I forgot the count off top. I'm gonna type it in just to go out on the end of this video. Needless to say, there are islands in this deck, and that is not the version that I have. But man, oh, that's awesome. That would be nice to have. And I have 26 basic islands in the deck. And there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I love playing Commander. Hopefully this picks up, and eventually at some point when I have time, I'll start doing more of my Commander decks. Like I said, I have like 7 or 8. I lost count. I know it's not more than 10, but so I'll look in on that. I know where they are. It's not, you know, and I'll do more videos like this, just going through my Commander decks, getting people's takes on it, their likes, their dislikes, maybe even some ideas like, hey, take this out and put this card in instead, you know, stuff like that. Because trust me, if I owned a Consecrated Sphinx, it most definitely would be in this deck. Or the second version of Jin Cataxis, that would also be in this deck, but I don't own either of those cards. So, it is what it is. But, on to the next time, when I have time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.